Doing this thumbnail exercise helps you to understand what it takes to create an appealing artwork. Here's an example. Those are paintings from this book I have. Let's have a look. So the first step is I was looking into the line directions. So it's a very simple 1-minute exercise, maybe 2 minutes, where I just explore the lines that are applied. It's the first. And in the second stage, I explore the light, how the dark and light parts of the painting are distributed. And as you see here, we have a lot of light here. It's this here, right? And then it's a dark shape that we have here, and then it separates itself here, but here it emerges into the background, so it's one big shape, and that's the distribution. And then I look for the very dark parts and explore those. This is done here, those parts. In this way I understand, okay, that's a very simple drawing. That's a pastel drawing, by the way, but it is created very well. I mean, the cross here is, and the hands are very central. If you look where they are placed, the hands are placed in around the middle, and the cross is slightly above, but it goes through the middle. But if we look where, on which line it is placed, then it's most likely it's somewhere around the golden rule. It's very interesting to explore how it's not an accident where it is placed. So everything is thought through by the author, by the artist. On the second one, that's this one. I liked how it is, how the letter is very important, right? She's reading, very curious, reading the letter. And the letter is placed using the golden rule still. So, and the eyes are lining in. So here the same approach here. I started with exploring the lines first, spent a couple of minutes on that, and then I added, in the first sketch already, I added just the lightest parts, just to explore those. Definitely it's built by these light parts, and it creates, right, this line, and it goes like this. Then if we add the dark parts, suddenly we get this composition where everything is told very simple, yet very powerful. And that's an exercise that allows you to understand these kind of things, like, oh, this letter is placed here in that area of the painting, not by accident. It's on purpose here, slightly above the middle and not in the middle. Everything is on purpose. The whites here are also chosen wisely, so they are supporting. And the white area here, the paper area that we see here, that's also on purpose left out like this. It's on purpose like that. It's not like the artist was annoyed of coloring out this area. No, he was not annoyed. He decided to add exactly this much white, like paper, and oppose it to this black or dark part. Deconstructing other painters' artwork is a great exercise that helps you not only understand the creation process of the specific art piece, but also learn about principles that make this art piece outstanding and interesting. This information is very useful when you create your own artworks, because the principles are most of the time very universal. Let's dive in and deconstruct some artworks. I have here a book from the Tretyakov Gallery in Moscow, and I decided we will deconstruct this painting here by Ivan Kramskoy, Christ in the Desert. I like this. It's quite simple though, yet there is some stuff built in here. One can use pencils, but today I'm gonna use ink. So the format is something like this. First, let's discover the lines. Subject's head looking down, and it's placed somewhere here. Then his shoulders, somewhere like here. His legs, knees, sort of sitting like here. His knees are on the same height. Here's his hands, they're very central. Then we have the horizontal line with the frontal rocky space. Goes something like this. Then behind him has multiple lines actually. Here the stones he's sitting on, they create a line here. You have some lines here as well, but that's in the space itself. And then we have the clouds in the back. There is a belt of clouds that goes through. You see even here. That took me around 2 minutes maybe. So it's a quick, very quick exercise, as you can see. Now when we look into it in shapes, meaning where is dark, where is the person. The guy is sitting here, right? And we have actually the darkest, she is very dark. The back, there's this part that's very dark, leads us here, it goes here inside. We can even go back in and try to get out here a bit. We know that his hands are here, right? Yes, a bit. Just because I have now time, I can use this. And this part is a bit darker than this side. Let's have a look at this. This dark shape and this dark background, they are pretty much the same darkness level. With a clean brush, and wash it out. This whole part here, it's not as dark as this whole rocky area that occupies the front, and then it goes even like this. Still, it must be far more dark than it is now. And the sky in the background I leave out. If we make a small thumbnail of this, then we see something like this, then where this is how it looks. Must be like this. Then we can say, okay, yes, but here we have less, it's not as dark, yeah. So maybe we can go in and get out a bit, yeah. Maybe it looks like this. Play around with it to figure out, does it make sense? Does it look more like this? And then we have here and here. Yeah, maybe more like this. It's a clear one big space that captivates the focus on this area. So the focus here is definitely on this part of the painting. That's our focus. With this line, what I discover here as well is that these hands that are here, if we make this dark, the hands, they are separated here. What happens is actually that the hands are lit in the same manner as the face, and these horizontal lines that we have here, they are pointing us towards this area of the hands. It's very important actually. It's interesting how it guides us into the hands that are taken like this together. He's sitting there thinking about something. Then we have the head here, and the head is sort of here, and then his eyes and the hands are on the same line. So we have here, when we see the painting, this line here, this guides us in this direction. So that's our entry point. This guides us, and then so that we don't go and look here it goes into a diagonal line, so it bounces us back maybe to this line, yeah. And the drapery is also, this drapery is placed like this, trying to figure out. By trying to follow the lines on the drapery, I deconstruct it and figure out whether there is a specific line application. What I mean is, like, those lines, are they supportive somehow? Maybe one can, talk oneself into this, but I don't think so much. No, it's more of a shape-based thing. That's definitely through skill. That's an idea. These clouds and the horizon, this is the leading points. And then the lines that are here in the ground, in the front, they are all upwards. Everything shows towards him. And then here the rocks, they have some lines that go vertical, so they break this rhythm, and therefore our eye stops here again. This everything happens on the subconscious. It sounds like a lot of details that the artist has thought about. Indeed, he did. It's the same with the typography. When a letter is placed very close to each other, then nothing is understandable. But when letters are separated and the spacing is weighted very well, then it's an ease to look at it. It's a play, not like this. This is a mess. This is easy readable for the eye. That's basically the idea. You see, especially at the beginning, thinking in big shapes, top domain categories, I would say, is very difficult. So in order to ingrain this in yourself, this kind of practice is very helpful. Do it a few times a week, and in no time you'll be thinking in various lines, directions, big shapes, lights and darks. This will bring your composition skills to the next level pretty quick. I highly encourage you to deconstruct and study masterpieces, the well-known masterpieces out there, because they are masterpieces for a reason. And when you learn from them, you train yourself for having a good taste and understanding what is not really good art in terms of technical execution. We're speaking here about realism. Pick this information from these art pieces so that you're able to use it, whether conscious or subconscious, in your own art pieces. And you will see how quickly your compositions will improve. Let's have a look at other artworks. Pretty much the same. It's cool as well, but the idea is, you see, if you look into this and then you analyze it and get all these ideas with lines and the darkest shape and the dark shapes in general against the light shapes, then you suddenly would be able to create something like this. Very interesting. The principles here are pretty much the same. Oh, quite nice. Let's do this one. I like this. That's from Archip Koinji, birk trees. Let's do a very small one first. I squint my eyes. That's approximately the shapes I discovered there. If we look into the trees, like here, we have some trees coming from here. Maybe it's too detailed now. It should be the first step. So I went into the shapes first, but now let's have a look at it's a bit less high. Let's have a look at the lines. We have somewhere here the horizontal line, and then we have the trees. One is here, the other one is here, the small one. This one is placed pretty much here. It starts, this one starts here. Here we have one. Proportionally, it is not very accurate. Accurate would be here, and the painting ends actually here. Proportionally, that would be right. Closer. So this is on the lines, and we have this creek that comes in the middle, and here is the line of these background trees that are sort of placed like this somewhere. These are somewhere here. Yeah, the effect here is actually, I have the dark, my lines are dark, but in fact, I would have to do it a bit different. In fact, I would have to do it something like this. Cover this up. Then I would wait till it dries. Okay, now dry it a bit. Now I can use. Actually, I need to do this much darker now, because it's really dark. This looks now closer to what we have. So the trees are darker, but not too dark. They are lighter than the background. They stand out, and still the grass here is lit. Value-wise, it is very close to the sky. We have this kind of line separation. It's nice how the trees, they are vertical, most of them, but then we have this one tree that goes out into the diagonal, and it breaks this vertical rhythm. I like this, it's very nice. And we have this big horizontal line, yeah, so you can see here the rhythm, horizontal line. One could try also to do a negative exploration of the negative. So we do it vice versa. We have the lightest parts now I mark with this dark shape. Let's see what it brings. Also quite interesting. So this is our light parts. Yeah, this deconstruction helps one to understand. And next time I'm on plein air, I will maybe conscious, but for sure subconsciously look out for these rhythms. And then I will search for something that can break this rhythm, because in these trees it can be boring, so you need to bring in something that creates tension. And this breakout line, yeah, that's what I learned from here, and that's great. I mean, only this idea is great, apart from the distribution of the light shapes and the dark shapes. That's the exercise, deconstructing paintings by thumbnailing them, looking into the lines, into the shapes, into the lights, into the values. That could be the next step. One learns a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to see you in the next one. Oh, and consider subscribing to my newsletter. I share some valuable insights straight out from the studio. You'll find the link down below in the description. Keep on painting, enjoy the process, and I'll see you in the next one.